Recovery on Air, the official podcast of Crossroads Addiction Rehabilitation. Candid discussion about addiction and recovery with the people who have lived it, along with input from experts on the journey from struggle to triumph. Laugh, cry, and be inspired. And now, your host for Recovery on Air, Christin Day.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Recovery on Air, where we talk about the good, the bad, the miracles. Today's guest is a friend of mine, Jesse Messer. Whoop, whoop. I'm so excited because I've been trying to get you on here for a very long time. And we're going to learn all the stuff because I only know little bits and pieces. And then I've heard, good stories and bad stories and all the things. So welcome. I'm super excited. Like I told you, I don't do scripted or anything like that. So we just nonchalantly talk about stuff. But what was childhood like and everything?
Childhood. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We're going back that far, are we? Yeah.
How old are you?
40. Just turned 40.
Oh shit. I got some years on you still.
About to turn 41, so I'll catch up.
I got you.
No, honestly, Christin, for me, childhood was rough.
Yeah.
Fat kid, grew up overweight, got in a lot of fights, got kicked out of a lot of schools. Was always seeking validation that I never really got. For me, my reality was based on what I thought others thought of me.
Right.
So if they thought I was cool, then I could breathe that day. If they thought I was a loser, I wanted to lock myself into a closet and die.
Right.
If she thought I was ugly, then, I was a fat, ugly piece of shit that, nobody wanted around and yada, yada, yada. And 90% of the time, these were just things that I thought in my head. So I was a prisoner to what I thought people thought of me.
For sure.
And it was rough.
When did you start using drugs and alcohol to suppress those feelings? So,
pot and weed early on.
Yeah.
Pot and alcohol early on. I started getting into hard narcotics at about 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
And for the first time in my life, I felt invincible.
Right. Took all that away.
Took it all away.
Yeah.
I became strung out on meth very, very, very early in life. Was in and out of the, juvenile justice system, in and out of the courts. What I used to do when I was a kid to stay high was I would run into the stores and I would grab those little carry baskets and I would fill them up with a bunch of Sudafed pills and I would run out of the store and I would sell them to drug cooks in the area and they would give me drugs and they would let me hang out. And that's what I did. I was the kid.
Until you started making your own.
Well, until we started doing other things in the future. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We won't jump that far yet, but we'll get into it. So that was fun.
That was fun. But this I will say, growing up, I didn't really get along with people my own age.
Right.
And when I started getting into the drug scene, all my friends were 40, 50, 60 years old. All of my friends were convicts. All of my friends were bikers. These were the people that accepted me. These were the people that I looked up to. These were the people that I thought were real men. These were people that I thought were something.
Yeah. Because
my entire life I felt like I was nothing. I felt like I was nobody, and I just wanted to be somebody.
Right.
And I felt like these individuals were somebody, and that's what I wanted. So I directed my life doing everything that they did because I wanted to be like them. And that meant being unaccountable to anything other than my own wants and desires.
Right.
That meant not working. That meant selling drugs. That meant violence. That meant in and out of jail and prison. That meant not taking any shit from nobody. That meant just basically living the outlaw life.
Yeah.
And that's what I became addicted to.
Yeah.
And it became my identity. Because growing up, I had no identity. Deep down, I'm insecure. I've got low self-esteem. I'm selfish. I'm this fat kid that's not good enough. I just want the girls to like me. I'm in my head, going round and round and round, and I feel less than, and I wanted that acceptance. And when I got into the criminal world, the drug world, I built up this cloud of make-believe and delusion and fantasy, and I just existed in that world.
Yeah.
I just existed in this world of fantasy and make-believe. It was real because the consequences from my actions were real, the things that I did were real, but nothing that I did was like real morals or real values or real character or real integrity. You know, one of the biggest eye-opening moments in my life was the first time I realized that there's no honor in living dishonorably. Because I thought that all the things that I was doing in my life made me a stand-up dude.
Right.
And it was the farthest thing from it. I mean, looking back on it now, I mean, we'll get to it, but I work in adolescent health care.
Right.
And the last thing that I would say today makes a man is a 40 or 50-year-old dude getting high with a kid.
Right.
You know,
For sure.
that is the farthest thing from a man.
What
But
are we teaching them?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
these are the people that I looked up to.
For sure.
You know, and looking back, these people, a lot of them were homeless. A lot of these people spent, you know, their families didn't want them around. They weren't in their kids' lives. A lot of them were missing a lot of their teeth, had poor hygiene. But they had a bunch of tattoos, and they'd spent a lot of time in prison, and I thought that was cool.
Yes.
I thought that made you tough. I thought that made you a gangster.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to be.
So how old were you the first time that you went to jail?
14. Yeah.
How long did you do?
I mean, to be honest, growing up as a kid, when I was an adolescent, I mean, many 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months. And I'm just a ton of that, in and out, in and out, in and out. Prison at 18. Got my number at 18.
Wow.
And
Here in Arizona?
here in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
I remember
your
that.
DOC number?
192452.
Oof.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
old.
Yeah.
It's old.
Good.
17 years incarcerated in the state of Arizona.
Wow.
40 years old. You do the math.
A lot of your childhood.
Yeah.
A lot of your adulthood.
Well, my entire adult life.
Yeah.
You know, like you asked me when
absolutely.
we were knocking up, do you have any kids, Jesse? No.
Yeah.
I've been in prison.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't had the opportunity to have kids. I haven't had the opportunity to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, all that I'd ever done with my entire life was sell drugs, commit crime, stay free for a couple of months, and go right back to prison.
Go right back.
And that's what my life looked like.
Did you feel like when you did start going to jail and then you would get out, like you were so institutionalized that you felt more comfortable in jail or in prison than you did out here?
I'll tell you one of the things that I grew up in prison.
Yeah.
I mean, everything good that I've done, that I had done in my life up into this release now, I had done in prison. I got 2 college degrees in prison.
Right.
I learned to exercise in prison. I got sober in prison.
Yeah.
You know, I learned respect in prison.
Right.
Because if you don't respect people in there, you get your fucking ass beat.
Yeah.
You know, so I just learned a lot of things in prison that I didn't learn growing up because I was a
Right.
kid doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do.
Right.
So I basically grew up with those values, and you know, when I started changing those values and looking at things open-minded, you know, I was just able to see that it was just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. What was different this time around though? Like getting out and like, what was it? What clicked?
I'll tell you what clicked. So I was sitting in the 4th Avenue jail. I was maxed out. I had been indicted on illegal control of an enterprise. I had gotten caught with a trunk full of drugs, money, and guns. I had been to prison 3 prior times.
Gotcha.
And I thought that my life was over. The last week that I was out, one of my best friends was murdered in front of me. I was over it. I was defeated. I thought that my life was over. And I remember I was sitting in 4th Avenue jail, and I just hit a place to where I hit my knees and I cried. I cried out to a God that I didn't believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And I just made a decision at that point that no matter what happens, you know, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever happens, I'm never going to be in this position again. And I'm going to do whatever I have to do to not be in this position again.
And you went in there and how long did you get this last time?
7 years flat.
Oh, gotcha.
Is what I ended up getting.
Gotcha.
And what ended up happening was I did my time different than I'd ever done it.
Yeah.
I decided to get out of the politics, which I had been involved with my entire life. I decided to focus on a program of recovery and stay clean in prison. I stayed out of trouble, so I was able to work my way down in custody.
Yeah.
And I was able to go from 4 to 3 to 2, and I was able to work my way down to a minimum yard.
Yeah.
And I was able to get an ACI job.
Did you know George and Jeremy outside before you guys were locked up?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so Jeremy's brother, Jason, is actually one of my best friends from the street.
Gotcha.
From years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeremy I'd ran into a couple of times, but we got really close in prison.
Gotcha.
We're on the yard together. George I know from the street as
Yeah.
well from the past. And we also have done time together.
Wow.
So, yeah,
It's crazy how full circle it is.
it is.
And shout out George and Jeremy. They do their own little podcast with you and Outlaws to Advocate. It's coming back. I'm super excited. I got to be a guest on your guys's, and I love what you guys do. But so prison. I mean, this time around, what did you were doing AA in there, and
So it was very unpopular. The first yard that I really started getting involved in the 12-step stuff was at Steiner in 2017.
Okay.
At that time, that yard was very violent. General population yard. People were getting killed. I remember my first week there, 2 people were killed.
Jesus.
And it was just a very dangerous place. At that time there, I wasn't super involved in the politics, but I was running a store.
Right.
And I was just kind of hustling a little bit to get by.
Yeah.
And I remember that the guy that had the building, I was walking by, because I've got a little bit of a history with recovery, because I would get out, I'd go to halfway houses, I would do the 12-step stuff for a little bit of time.
Gotcha.
And I saw this NA book. And I'm like, what are you doing with that thing?
Yeah.
And he's like, they actually have a program where if you write them, they'll sponsor you through the mail. I was like, really?
Really?
He's like, yeah. He goes, dude, why don't you just write them and get the literature?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I wrote them. I got the literature. I threw it on my desk. It was like no big deal. But I'm running the store, and friends of mine, from the building are getting their fucking ass beat. Like if they owe $5 or $10, they're a couple days late.
Yeah.
2 or 3 dudes are beating their ass. And this is just happening
Over
week
and
after week
over.
after week. And I'm thinking, it's starting to not sit well with me.
Yeah.
And I remember me and this dude are talking recovery, and he's got no problem, doing the recovery thing and having these dudes ass beat for owing $5 or $10 when, we're part of facilitating the debt that they're owing for.
Yeah.
So we start this NA meeting over there. There was a handful of us that start this NA meeting at Steiner.
Okay.
And we're going to the meetings, and like he's selling drugs. We're doing the store thing. We're beating these guys' ass. They're coming into the meeting. We're trying to help them get better, and he's running them off the yard next week because they owe $20. And I'm like, dude, this ain't sitting well with me.
Sitting well.
And he's like, so what are you saying? He's like, these people are making their own choices. They're gonna. If you don't give them the money, they're gonna go get it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's like, they're responsible for their debts.
Yeah.
It's not on you. I was like, I get it, man, but I'm good. And
You just wanted out.
I did. I stepped away from it. I ended up stepping away from the store, stepping away from the politics, and just did my own thing. I ended up reclassing to minimum custody. That's where I ran into Jeremy. That's where I ran into some other brothers, and we just we started a 12-step meeting on the yard. There's 3 of us that were on that yard. Connor was on that yard with us. He's the director of admissions for Pinnacle Peak Recovery.
Hell yeah.
Jeremy's a director at
Sanctuary. Yeah.
I'm a program manager at Horizon. Pretty much like everybody that was there that
Heavy hitters.
is doing really well.
Yeah.
Everybody that was there, there was only a handful of us. A couple of my other friends. One of my buddies, Dax. He started a trucking business. My buddy Rob, he works in recovery. He's about to become a counselor.
Oh yeah.
So those of us that are still doing it are doing really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about like things that we'd learned in prison. So I'd never worked a real job in my life.
Right.
I'd never done anything other than sell drugs and commit crime and do fraudulent shit.
Right.
So I ended up getting a job at Hickman's at the chicken farm. And I remember the owner. The owner's still a good friend of mine today. I have him on my phone. He still checks in with me. He tells me all the time, he goes, Jesse, your first 2 weeks there, I thought you were going to quit.
Yeah.
By the time I left there, I could fix anything on that farm.
Hickman's is a lot too. I have a sponsee that had the job of killing the chickens when, let me tell you, that 4-step was not the fucking business. Like, I don't even know how you fucking tell somebody to fucking let go of how to forgive themselves for fucking killing as many chickens as she did. But like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe you're supposed to go rescue some chickens or like work at a chicken coop or something like that.
Donate to Kobe's dog rescue or
right.
something. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Something like that. Because she's like, I just can't stop thinking about all the chickens that I killed. And I'm like, oh my God. ChatGPT, how do I help my sponsee with this,
Yeah, medication.
Right.
A lot of it.
So, yeah, that's crazy, dude. Wow. And what did you do at Hickman's?
So I did a little bit of everything.
Okay.
The majority of the time I was there, I built barns. I've killed chickens. I've cleaned barns. I finished doing maintenance. But it wasn't so much what I did there. It was the work ethic that I built. Because that was
Gotcha.
something else that was part of my recovery. My recovery wasn't solely 12-step based. It was also personal development based. There was a lot of pieces. There was exercise. There was building a work ethic. There was a lot of things that I had to do
Right.
if I was going to be successful. I knew that if I was ever going to have any chance of staying free and be a responsible, productive member of society, I had to fucking work. and I did not want to with every ounce of my being.
Right.
So I forced myself at Hickman 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. I did that for my last 5 years.
Wow.
And I built a work ethic to where now, I'm working in behavioral health, and it's just like I'm a rock star.
Yeah.
Because it's not even in the same ballpark as having to work at a fucking farm.
Right. No, for
It's
sure.
it's 100% different. So building that work ethic, and it wasn't even about the little bit of extra money I made. It was just learning to actually get up and work for an honest, humble myself to just get up and work. And it helped. It made all the difference. It changed my life.
Do you feel like when you were on the yard and others started seeing you do different, that they kind of followed?
Yeah, that happened. That happens a lot on the street. That happens a lot on the yard. I mean, I have people that ask me to sponsor them because of the stuff that I did when I was using that would not have anybody else sponsor them.
Yeah.
Just because they want somebody that was like them.
Right.
And not everybody's like
and
them.
Seeing, like I said, I've heard some stories.
Yeah.
I mean, you and making dope and 5-gallon or not even the big trash cans, and they open the trash can and the shards, and I'm like, Jesse?
It wasn't.
What?
It wasn't making dope. It was selling a lot of dope. I mean, when I was younger, I stole a lot of the pills, and I did do a lot of stuff with people that did make dope. But this last go around, when it really started getting messy, I was dealing directly with the cartel. And I mean, when I tell you, it was messy. I mean, there was times when I would owe them $100,000 and I couldn't even sleep because I thought they were going to kill me and my family.
For sure.
I was terrified.
It's no joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah, it's and that's some of the things that, like I really had to work through. And when it comes to humility, is because like when I was selling drugs, I had all the money you can imagine. I had duffel bags full of drugs. I had new cars. I had houses all over Phoenix. I had money. I had everything. I mean, I even had things worked out with the cartel to where I even had a realtor that I could pick any house I wanted in the state, and they would go rent it under a fraudulent name and everything. I could just pay for it, just burn it up and leave.
Jesus.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I mean, I could get anything that I wanted. I mean, if you needed 50 pounds, I could give it to you.
Wow.
There's a good chance I might have almost had it.
Yeah. For sure.
But it just, it was unreal. And
it's crazy to like think about these things, and like knowing you, like I could never see you like that. You know what I mean? The stories that I hear, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And that's between you, George, and Jeremy. I cannot picture any of you guys being the way that you guys were.
Well, and that's the beauty of this program.
Right.
Is that we can change.
Right.
And we can become somebody that we weren't before. We can become somebody new. I was a scumbag. And one of the biggest things, like I very rarely talk about the person that I was when I was selling drugs, because I can easily sit here and it would be the truth. I can tell you, that I had duffel bags full of money, drugs, guns. I had houses. I had things. I had storage units full of brand new tools. I mean, I had money counters. I mean, I had all of it. I had everything.
Yeah.
I could tell you that, but that's not a full truth.
Right.
What that's doing is that's validating that image that I built because I felt less than and didn't feel good enough. If I wanted to tell you the whole truth, the things that I hold back, because I don't tell you about the time that I was so strung out that I stole all the Christmas cards off my grandma's tree and took the $5 bills out because I wanted to get high that fucking bad.
Yeah.
I don't talk about that shit, but I'll tell you about the good shit, because that's the way this disease works.
Right.
It wants to justify, it wants to rationalize, it wants to deny. It doesn't want to look at things as they really were.
Yeah.
And the truth be told, my 15 minutes of fame when I was really doing all those big things and had all that money dope was a small piece of what my addiction really looked like in total. When you take all the incarceration, when you talk about all the birthdays, the Christmases, the family events that were missed, all the people that I let down, all the unconditional love that my family, I can't even imagine the stress that I put on my parents. All the life that was lost.
Yeah.
Everything, just the tough times. I mean, the jobs that were lost, the opportunities that were lost. I mean, like, I don't have kids. There's so much shit that was lost. And it's like, all that's overlooked, because of this fake image that I built.
Are your parents still alive?
So my dad's still alive. Both my parents are alive. My dad's alive. My mom and my stepdad are alive. Thank God.
And relationships with them?
Great.
Good.
Yeah, great relationships with them. Just bought a home. My mom helped me out a little bit with the down payment,
But
just because I'm
still,
doing so well.
Whew,
Yeah,
how amazing is that?
it's unreal.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is unreal.
How long have you been out now?
I got released February of 2024.
Okay. So you haven't been out that long.
I'll tell you what happened. You know, I ran into George at the Second Chance Center.
Yeah.
And he was a facilitator. At the tail end of my sentence, I decided to go there for my last 60 days
Right.
and just see what it was all about. I heard they help out with your fines and do these different things, and I was like, I'm going to get whatever I can.
Right.
Let's see what I can get.
Run it.
So I get there, I ran into George, and he's like, bro, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm sober. I work program recovery. He goes, so do I. He's like, I'm a facilitator at the program. I was like, that's fucking awesome, dude. He's
Hell
like,
yeah.
yeah. He goes, I want you to take this class. He goes, have you ever thought about working in behavioral health? I'm like, fuck no, dude. he's like, why not? I said, because they don't make no money.
Right.
I said, I want to be able to support myself and my family. I'm going to go into the union when I get out. A lot of my friends were in the union making really good money.
Gotcha.
He's like, bro, just take this fucking class. I'm facilitating it. It's the first time we're offering it here, Second Chance. Just please take it.
Just do it.
And I'm like, well, what is it? He's like, it's a BHPP course. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? He's like, behavioral health paraprofessional. He's like, it's an introduction to like working in behavioral health and what that's going to look like.
Right.
And I was like, all right. And I remember sitting through that class, and I remember by the end of that class, like I thought, man, I think I might really like doing that. That would be really cool, because what I didn't know was I always thought, for one, that recovery was going to a 12-step meeting.
Right.
Because that's what I had learned in halfway houses.
For sure.
And that is a piece of my recovery, a huge piece, but that's not the only, there's more. And working in recovery, there's more. And I learned a lot about that. And I was like, man, this is pretty fucking interesting. Like, I didn't know that my past, my felonies, my lived experience, all the things that I'm most ashamed of in my life and that have held me back from jobs in the past
asset.
are my assets. These are the things that go on the application that people are like, man, I want this fucking dude working here.
For sure.
So because of the person that I was on the street and in prison and the things that I was doing, and because I had changed my life, immediately released out of prison, they gave me a job at New Freedom. Normally you have to be out 2 years.
Right.
God opened the door.
Yeah.
So they gave me a job teaching framing.
So when you got out, you didn't have to parole. You were straight out and you were good.
No, I paroled.
You
So
paroled.
I did flat time.
Okay.
But you still have to do parole on flat time in Arizona, which
Gotcha.
makes no sense. But that's what they want.
What it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, I took a framing class at New Freedom. Or not took a framing class, taught a framing class at New Freedom, got my foot in the door. Worked my way up to peer support. Within a few months, I was teaching peer support certification. Just to give you an idea what my first year looked like. George and Jeremy, we started a podcast, Outlaws to Advocates. George got a grant from a program that came to Second Chance to help people like us. The Go program. For anybody who's looking for a grant, Go program. They help felons. So he got a grant for the podcast. We started a podcast on parole. I got accepted to go back into prison and teach personal development with George and Jeremy because of the people we were doing. So on parole, I got fully badged.
Right.
To go back into the prison.
Crazy.
On parole, I got a fingerprint clearance card.
Crazy.
After being at New Freedom for maybe, I don't know, almost a year, I got a job opportunity at Horizon. Just from doing the next right thing, working hard, I got a program manager job offer.
Yeah.
So I took it.
Let's talk about working with adolescents. It's way different than working with adults.
It is.
It's
night and day different.
It is. And I know that I've talked to you before of obviously we have to watch what we say around them. But I feel like if we can tell them the truth sometimes and listen to the shit that is coming out of my mouth and telling you these are the things that I did and I don't want you to follow down these footsteps, I think it might help him a little bit more.
I'm in the same school of thought as you on that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's certain things that we can and can't say,
right.
in front of the kids, especially where I work.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a Horizon policy or a policy everywhere.
Gotcha.
But I know that when I was younger, people that had been through some shit were people that I looked up to and that I listened to.
Right.
But I've also learned, so George asked me the other day, he's like, so I've said, I've learned a lot of new skill sets working at Horizon. He's like, well, give me an example. What would you say is one of the strongest skill sets that you've learned there? I've said, I've learned how to build rapport without sharing my lived experience. And he's like, well, how do you do that? I said, because kids feed off energy.
Yeah.
They feed off authenticity.
They do.
They feed off You know, if you tell them you're going to do something, you do it. You know, they know that they can spot a fake.
Yeah.
Just like we can spot a fake in recovery.
Absolutely.
They can spot a fake. So
1,000%.
So if they know that you're genuine, if they know that you're authentic, if they know that you really care, if you take the time to talk to them, you're going to build that rapport.
For sure.
And that's one of the things that I've learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was great. You know, something else with dealing with adolescents is different. Everything requires consent. You know, you're dealing with people's kids.
Yeah.
So everything has to go through the family. You know, medications that they take, decisions that are made, you know, doctors, everything. Everything has to go through the parents.
Got you. Now, what if the parents aren't there and they're in like DCS custody? What happens with that? You have to communicate with the case manager and everything like that for DCS?
Yeah, there's always a point of contact.
Got you.
So when they're adolescents.
Got you.
And it's difficult sometimes. It's frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
And then every time something happens, you know, families have to be notified immediately. So that requires a lot of on-call shifts, a lot of phone calls, a lot of documentation. Everything's got to be documented.
Yeah.
You know?
The documentation, I can only imagine.
Oh, and it's serious stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because it could be you're liable.
Yeah.
Your lawsuit. You're dealing with people's kids.
For sure.
It's very serious.
For sure.
But it's great though.
Yeah.
And, you know, something that I tell the kids is that, you know, the reason that I chose this profession and to work with adolescents is because I've been through some things in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't want you guys to have to go through the things that I've went through.
Right.
And I honestly believe that kids are where it's at because they have the most to lose and the most to gain.
Yeah.
Because they're at a point in their life, you know, most of them haven't found the drugs to escape. A lot of people think it's all substance use. It's not.
It's a lot of mental, right?
So it's self-harm, mental health, trauma, abuse. It's a lot of stuff. Some of them have maybe just started using drugs,
Gotcha.
but the majority of them are dealing with that pain raw. So they're just acting out and they don't know what to do. You know, and I can imagine it because I was there. You know,
Yeah.
I experienced some things when I was young that I never talked about. You know, and like one of the things that we're doing there, and I think one of the biggest wins, is we build rapport with these kids to where they trust us with stuff. Yeah. And, you know, we can find out some of these horrible things that are going on and we can address it and we can protect them.
So when they do talk to you about things, and I'll say this, like there was times like when I was working at Art of Our Soul, you know, and we were dealing with the Florence Christin girls. And there were things that some of them said to us that they didn't say to their therapists. And then, of course, I have my fingerprint clearance card, like I'm mandated to say these things, and it sucks because I don't want to take away from what she just told me, you know, and it's hard with that situation. But, yeah, I just think that we are able to help these kids. And even before we started recording, talking about, you know, the childhood trauma, because I really believe that that's where it all starts, is the stuff that they're going through. You know, like what can we do to fucking make this better? Because I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like what? My kid's about to turn 12 tomorrow and 22. So.
Oh, yeah. Giddy up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like 12 going on 21. And I'm like, well, I got to look at it this way. She's not doing what I was doing at 12 years old. And my 22-year-old, she's not pregnant and has 3 kids. So we're doing good there. Yeah. You know, but fuck, man, it's a hard world to live in right now. And watching these kids and the things that they are going through.
Well, they can't even go to the bus stop.
Right.
Without somebody smoking fentanyl.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. And we want to protect them so much, you know. Have you guys ever, like, I don't know, scared straight type stuff with some of these kids?
No.
No?
Not really scared straight. And there's a little bit of stuff that we can disclose. We just can't really go into detail.
Got you.
You know, I think there's been some instances to where, you know, clients have graduated and some of the things that they've said thanking the staff make it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
You know, like just there's so many different things, you know, the safety of the child too. Like anytime, even though like I feel terrible, like anytime a child has, you know, been molested or raped or anything like that, you know, like when they share that and we can address it and we can stop it from continuing.
Right.
You know, to me, that is a huge win.
Huge thing.
That is a huge win, you know, because these people need to be put in jail or worse.
Well, and then our old ways, you know, like we want to hurt them. I mean, honestly,
Kill 'em,
like,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. For sure. So, going back to the prison thing. So you did your last 7 years flat, and everything changed this time though.
Everything changed. So, yeah, I built and we were talking the other day, because I've been working a lot of hours, like in prison, I had a routine,
Right.
my, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd read my literature, I would pray, I would listen to some motivational podcasts, I would exercise every day, I would hit my meetings, at night I would read again, I would journal, I had sponsees, I had a sponsor, and it was just a super, super structured priority
Right.
of just spiritual development was my priority
Right.
overall. It was chasing God, chasing growth, building a foundation, and just doing what I got to do to stay sober. Because for me, like, there is no question.
Yeah.
If I get high, I won't be able to stop.
For sure.
And I'll self-destruct and I'll destroy everything in my life that means anything to me.
Mm.
And it's going to happen quick.
Yeah.
So I have to do everything to prevent that. One of the things that I used to tell guys at New Freedom, the same thing with even the clients at Horizon, like, what are the 5 most important things to you in your life? Like, honestly, like, if you think about it, well, what are the 5 most important things in life? Well, if you ask me, what are the 5 most important things? Okay, well, my freedom, my family, my sobriety, my relationship with God, my career.
Right.
If I take these things, okay, well, if these truly are the most important things in my life, what am I doing to protect them?
Mm.
Because if I'm not protecting these things and I really value these things,
Yeah.
then I don't really value them. I value something else more.
Right.
And if I value my sobriety, what am I doing to protect it? Well, I'm going to meetings. I'm working with others. I'm staying close to God. I'm not putting myself in high-risk situations. If I value my career, what am I doing? I'm being reliable. I'm showing up to work. I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
I'm not being dishonest. If I value my family, am I making time for my family? Am I spending time with them? All these different things. So I try to look at it objectively like that. If this is what's important to me, then protect it. Make
Yeah.
time for it.
For sure. For sure. I love it. Outlaws to Advocates. What made you guys start that?
It was crazy. Me and George were sitting in the Second Chance program. This is a true story. And we were just dicking around one day, and we were like, dude, we should start a podcast. He's like, I'm down.
Let's go.
Yeah. It was just us bullshitting with each
Yeah.
other. And so that Go program came in, and he applied for the grant. And they fucking bought him all the podcast shit. Like thousands of dollars
I
worth
know.
of nice shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck.
Let's do it.
Yeah, he's like, let's go. It's like, run that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it
That's
worked
how
out.
it all started. And
Yeah, we got out, and then we kind of ended up bringing Jeremy in on it. But yeah, it was just really just started with a discussion at Second Chance.
that's
the
crazy.
program.
For people that don't know, what is the Second Chance program?
So it's for people that are incarcerated. It's their last 60 days of, I think it's 8 weeks. Their last 8 weeks of incarceration. They have a bunch of programming, resources,
Right.
help you basically get everything that you need to get released. They've even got some vocational training there now. They help squash a bunch of your fines. One of the things that I like is, it's at Phoenix West, and I'm from Phoenix. So if you're in Yuma, Douglas, Winslow, one of these places, and you go to, guess what? You don't have to get a 3-hour ride home. You get released from here. So a lot of guys go there just for that, and then they find out, wow, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pump your head with a bunch of recovery stuff. I think it's really good.
Yeah. What are you doing to stay up on your sobriety these days?
So if I was talking to somebody new, this is what I would say. I would say that there's a recipe that I follow, and that I'm a 12-step guy. You're a 12-step girl.
Yeah.
Like, it's a home group, a service commitment.
Yep.
That's the foundation. Have a sponsor. If you're not really a 12-step person, have a mentor.
Yeah.
Work with others, service work. I don't really care what your path of recovery looks like. Service is pretty much a cornerstone in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's faith, 12-step, personal development, whatever it is, there's always a service component.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say be a service. For me, a lot of it is a sacrifice. I have to be willing to do things that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
That was one of the most powerful things I ever heard. We had I think an AA volunteer come into one of the yards I was at. One of my 30-something years. One of my partners said, how the fuck do you get 30-something years? He's just some old guy. I mean, he was like probably 70 years old, and he's kind of looked around. And he goes, doing things I didn't want to do. He goes, and I still do things I don't want to do.
Right.
I'm still sober.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, and it's like, fuck, man, there's a lot of wisdom there.
Right.
There's a lot of shit I don't want to do that I do anyway. That's a lot of shit.
Seriously. Like, man, I'm tired.
Yeah, I don't want to
I
fucking
wanna
go to a
do that
meeting. I
shit.
don't want to talk to this dude right now.
Yeah.
Man, fuck.
Yeah, no. What are you doing in the prisons these days?
So the third Wednesday of every month, that'd be tomorrow. Me and a couple of my partners, Boo, George, Jeremy, we teach personal development courses at different yards.
And what's personal development? Like, what are you teaching them?
A lot of different things, but basically how to do time. You know, one of I think the biggest mistakes that we're making, and I'm not going to say that it's a mistake because it's a good thing, but we have all these reentry centers, we have this second chance program. All of it is on the back end. If I'm doing 10 years, if I'm doing 15 years, if I'm doing 8 years, why don't we get started at the beginning of that? Why are we going to wait till the end or after we get out?
Right.
Because you could have all those years of building a foundation. So we try to get people thinking about, like, what can you do now?
Right.
As opposed to waiting until then.
Until then.
Let's start now. You know, what can you do now? Can you journal? You know, do you guys have meetings here? Can you exercise? You know, what are some things that you've been wanting to do that you haven't done? You know, let's maybe try doing them.
Set some goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things like that, and just trying to get people moving.
Where
now.
do you guys go on the third Wednesday?
So right now, currently, we go to Cimarron and Santa Rita.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Cimarron is
Tucson.
Lewis.
They're both Tucson.
Oh, Tucson. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're both Tucson.
I got to go to Tucson and go to Manzanita, and
RSAT, check that out.
dude,
That's
that
cool.
was dope. Like going on that yard, and Baxley put together some recovery day, and sure enough, I get taped to an inmate, and we did a 3-legged race, and yeah, it was great. But I was like, listen, buddy, you're gonna go with my flow because you knock me over and scratch up my face on this dirt. We're fighting. So yeah, no, that was super cool. But getting in there and like meeting some of those guys, like, man, and the stories that I heard, and like, it's crazy to go on the yard and like meet somebody and then be like, how much time do you have left? And he's like, I'm not leaving. Like, this is my life. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah. But my life is consumed around being a mentor and like showing these younger guys what to do and what not to do. And like, I'm like, wow. Like, you're never going to get out and see the other side. And he's like, no. And I'm okay with that. But these are the things that I am doing. And this is my life's purpose, is helping this younger generation and showing them that, you know. So I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I love what you guys do. You know, we talk about you guys all the time. They know exactly who you guys are, and they love it too. So I just think it's absolutely amazing that you guys get to go back in there and you get to, you know, at least showing them that, hey, I was exactly where you were, you know. And that's why I love going into the jails, is unfortunately, I mean, thankfully, I did not make it to prison. I would have never made it. I'm a little bitch. But I did go to jail, and I did some county time, and yeah, you know, but going back into the jails and the prisons is literally, it's my heart and soul. You know, tonight I get to go into Lewis. We get to go to Eagle Point and go do Christmas with the boys, the little boys, 12 to 17. And I'm so excited about that because, man, they need it. You know, they need that love. And we got stuff approved that we get to go and take them, like a blanket and a water bottle and some personal hygiene. So that's super cool, because some of those kids may never get out, you know? And now we're just showing them, like, hey, you're loved. Hey, it's okay. Let us be here and take a picture, see Santa, you know? It's really cool. We did it with Perryville 2 weeks ago, and they got to actually, the women got to bring their kids. And we got to do presents with them, and we did it with a place for Hannah, but man, life-changing right there. So what are some goals you want to accomplish in the next 5 years?
Well, I just bought a home. I just did that 3 weeks ago.
How's
Got
that
out of
feel?
prison 18 months, and I bought a new home.
A
First one.
brand new home. Like you got to pick everything in it.
Like it was brand new and nobody had ever lived in it.
Got you.
Yeah.
So everything was already picked, but
Yeah.
either way, a brand new home, like we're fucking shout out junkies. That shit don't happen.
So
It
definitely
does.
I aspire to grow in my career. I would like to be a director someday somewhere.
Okay.
I would like to definitely, it's hard, 5 years. Just continue to do what I'm doing, really.
Yeah.
Focus on, I definitely want to stay sober for the next 5 years as well. I'm about to celebrate 9 years in February.
It's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
9 years in February.
It's a big deal.
That's a miracle.
Right.
That's a fucking miracle. Like I could not get out of bed without getting high.
Right. And now look at you.
Yeah.
You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah. There's sometimes I wake up and I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
Because I don't deserve any of it. I mean, the things that I've done in my life, the poor decisions that I've made, I don't deserve anything. Without a shadow of a doubt, God has His hand on my life, and it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just 5 years, house, got the house.
You want a pool?
I don't know if that'd
I
be
know a
5 years
guy.
old. Yeah, I do too. 60 grand. You have to come down on that, Clark.
Hey, listen, we're going to talk to him after this and we'll get the homie hookup. But yeah, he needs to lower that price for some back in the days stuff.
He's like, I got you 50, 60 grand. I'm like, you ain't got 50, 60 grand at me. That ain't happening.
Listen, he makes some really nice pools though. Have
Yeah.
you seen him? The negative edge, all that shit.
Yeah.
He can even build you a hot tub in the backyard. I'm like, bro. It's crazy watching him too, because I've known him all my sobriety. So watching him move and groove, and I'm like, oh, you got to put it somewhere.
I think I'd like to find somebody and be married.
Okay.
I think I'd like that. Find an old lady, settle down, get married. I'd like to do that within the next 5 years.
Maybe have a kid.
Maybe,
Maybe.
but we'll just see. We'll
What
just see if
God
it's in the
has
cards.
store. For sure. For sure. And, yeah, man, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Watching Clark have a kid was like, holy shit, dude. It's like, if he can do it, anybody can do it. For real.
Yeah.
Because he's a wild one. So, yeah, watching him have one, I was like, shit, if he can do that, anybody. And that little girl came out looking just like him. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. Any other plans? What's your plans for Christmas?
So Christmas Eve, going to my mom's house.
Okay.
Gonna spend some time with the family.
Yeah.
Which is long overdue. It still feels a little awkward.
Gotcha. Why do you think that?
It's just growing up we had a huge family.
Gotcha.
And we did everything together. We had just tons of events, and as I was getting high, I would, when I was out, a lot of times I would show up late or high or not at all.
Gotcha.
And just I kind of became the black sheep of the family, just the fuck up. And it's just like they're all successful, right? Like I've got one cousin that's a pharmacist, another one that's got an MBA.
Did you just feel like you weren't good enough?
I just almost feel like there's been a lot of distance.
Yeah.
And I know they don't feel like that.
It's within inside yourself.
It's within inside myself, but it's just it's tough. I mean, we have a lot of fun when we're together.
Yeah.
It's just
getting over that awkward stage to.
Yeah, just getting back.
But listen, now you can walk in there and be like, I'm a house owner, bitch. I'm just kidding.
Or have it at my house.
Yeah. Like
Host.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Seriously.
That'd be cool.
I'm telling you, hosting Christmas and Thanksgiving, whew, it was a whole other. I have really. I'll share something. Like I fucking hate people coming to my house because that's my safe space and like that's my bubble. So like letting people in, I'm like, and I've hosted Christmas and Thanksgiving for the last almost 3 years. This will be the third one, and it's really changed. Like wow, I can have people in my house and it's going to be okay. And again, it's stuff inside of me. It's not like, oh, I'm worried that they're going to go steal something. It's not that at all. It's just being, entertaining everybody and making sure that everybody is okay. And
Yeah.
so try
That's awesome.
it. I promise. Did you put a Christmas tree up?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
It was awesome. I should take a picture of it and post it.
Yes, you really should. Because
Yeah,
that's a big deal. Your first Christmas tree, like, I'm telling you, man, I'm doing like the whole Elf on the Shelf thing with the kids, and it's a full-time job. Just wait. One day you're going to do Elf on the Shelf, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But if somebody was struggling, what would you say?
What are they struggling with?
Everything. Needing to get into recovery.
Needing to get into recovery. The first thing that when I'm talking with somebody about possibly wanting to get clean or wanting to get their life together, one of the first things that I ask them is, are you happy with your life the way that it looks right now?
Nope.
And if they're not happy with the way that
Right.
it looks right now, and I ask them, if you could have your life look any way that you wanted, what would you want that to look like? And that might look like, I want to be able to see my kids again. That might look like my family won't talk to me. That might look like I want to fucking get off the fentanyl. I want to work. I want
Right.
to have my own place. Whatever that looks like. And I said, well, and then I might ask them, I might say, well, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you willing to go to any length for that? Are you willing to go to detox? Are you willing to go to treatment? Because if you're not happy with your life the way that it is, then you're going to have to make changes. And I just meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
And I just try to walk alongside them, and I just try to help them. I give them my number. I tell them they can call me anytime, and I answer my phone.
Yeah.
And
You keep your ringer on at night?
I do.
Yeah.
I keep it on at night. And I just I help them, And
Yeah.
I just tell them, this is what I do.
Yeah.
If you want to get plugged into the fellowship, I'll take you to a meeting with me. I'll introduce you to
sure.
some people. I would suggest going to a meeting every day, at least for the first 90 days.
90 to 90.
Yep.
Get back to the basics.
Yep. I would suggest finding a sponsor,
Right.
Right.
If somebody is wanting to reach out and find you, where can they find you?
They can call my cell phone, 480-735-9570.
I love it. My husband does the same thing.
Yep.
He's like, plaster that shit everywhere,
Anybody can call me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you're a busy man, and I really appreciate you scheduling some time. If you are struggling, you can always reach out, Crossroads, thecrossroadsinc.org. We are open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m., 2002 East Osborne Road. We also take all access plans and all commercial insurance. So again, Jesse, thank you for taking time out. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. I know, right? And all the good stuff. And just, again, thank you for coming out and sharing your story. And I really appreciate you.
Thank you
And
for having me.
congrats on the house.
Thank you.
And with that, I pass. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Recovery on Air, the official podcast of Crossroads Addiction Rehabilitation, with your host, Christin Day. Join us next time as we continue our candid discussions about addiction and recovery. Listen 24/7 anytime to this or any of our shows online at starworldwidenetworks.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.